Hello, group piano teachers. Mindy and I are here once more to talk about something for piano teachers, and that something today is the starter kits. Last week we started talking about the starter kits, and today we're going to go a little bit deeper and show you what is inside of the starter kits. Hello, Mindy.
Hi, Carla. Hi, everybody.
So I was just saying that we're going to dive a little deeper today into the starter kits and show what is really in them. And those of you that have never um, done group piano, or maybe you do and you want to change up a little bit and do multi-level or preschool, then we have this resource for you. So, Mindy, do you want to start and go ahead and talk about the Piano Pyramid Explorers starter kits?
Yes. Okay, so this is probably a great place to start because go into our store, you're going to see that we have 5 starter kits and they all have a different color cover and they all have different stuff written. That isn't to say that they can all be used interchangeably because they can't. 4 of them are for younger pianists. We have a kit for 4 to 5-year-olds, 5 to 6-year-olds, 6 to 7-year-olds, and 7 to 8-year-olds. And each of those is grouped by age to help prepare them to be able to move into a multi-level class when they become 8 years old. So the 5th one is for pianists that are 8 and up. And it can be used for anybody 8 and up. I use that with my adult classes. I use it with my after school classes, teenagers. It doesn't matter. It works for anybody that is 8 and up. So I'm going to be talking about the first 4 that are age specific. And we generally lump these age groups under the category of pyramid explorers. Because they are exploring music, they're trying to lay down a good foundation before they join the multi-level classes. So the thing that we've done with the Pyramid Explorers, or these first 4 starter kits, is we have given you the same theme across all 4 levels. So if you happen to be teaching all 4 of those age groups like I do, you don't have to work as hard to prepare for those classes because they're all going to be working on the same theme every month. The thing that's different is the song that they're learning and the theory pages that they have in their book. It's more age appropriate and is more complementary. So with that, let's jump in and look under the hood. And I understand that my camera might not be showing you everything the right way. Is that backwards or can you see it okay?
It's backwards.
Yeah. Everybody, that's okay. We're going under the hood in mirror image. Okay. Every single one of our lesson plans begins with a preparation page, and we've to help you remember that these are the Pyramid Explorers because they're exploring things. And we are going to give you all of the things that you need to prepare for this lesson. We have goals that we would like the kids to achieve. We have specific things that you as a teacher need to have a good grasp on before you start teaching. These are generally the songs that you're teaching or songs that you'll be singing. And then we have equipment essentials, the materials that you're going to need that will be supportive of that lesson. They're generally things that teachers tend to have on hand. There should be very, very few things that you have to go buy. And there's often a lot of substitutions. So if you don't have a parachute, for example, don't go out and buy one unless you're dying to have a parachute. You can just go get a flat sheet out of your linen closet and use that just as well.
Yeah.
Then we go right into the lesson plan. Each of the lesson plans tells us what the skill is that we're learning. So the subject for the starter kits for the Pyramid Explorers is high and low. We're helping the kids learn to differentiate the make distinctions between high sounds and low sounds. And then this is what the teacher sees. This is the teacher's lesson plan. This is what we're going to head into the lesson. Here's the instructions and what you need to be doing. And then we have checkpoints along the way that you can use for evaluation in your teaching. And not just of your teaching, but how your students are doing. So those are always, I find them very helpful. for me. We also have embedded in the teacher guide the music and the things that you will need so that you don't have to print out extra stuff or toggle to a different place if you're using this digitally on your iPad, which Dorla definitely does, and I am slowly converting to. Okay. So you can see here, these are just like the first few pages. We've got checkpoints, we've got things that we're doing in each lesson. One of the things that we have for each of the lessons is an Explorer page. And this is an activity page that ties back to the lesson or ties into a skill that's important for that age group to work on. So this is the theory page. It's the same for the 4 to 5 year olds and the 5 to 6 year olds, which is a patterning game, because patterning is very important for them to be able to be working on and recognize and know how to complete patterns, because it's not just the pattern on the keyboard. We don't need them to just be able to tell the difference between 2 and 3 black keys. We want them to be able to start to recognize patterns in music, and then that helps them free up brain space to not have to read every single note as a unique note. They can start to see patterns and work smarter. So that's what something like this is setting them up to be able to do later. They are going to have a page like this in their book, but this is a prompt for you to know in your preparations what you'll need to do to help those kiddos. And it goes on like that. So all the way through a lesson, you'll have a title that talks you through the next part of the lesson, a description, any resources that are helpful for you to see what they're going to be seeing. At the end of the starter kits, we have student pages. And this is one thing that is different in our starter kits versus our curriculum. When you buy the curriculum, all of the lesson plans for the teachers are in the teacher guide. And all of the student books are in student books, and they're separate resources. But because we wanted to give you a taste of getting started, we combined them all for the starter kit. So at the beginning of the starter kit, you'll find all of the lesson instructions, and then at the end of the starter kit, you'll find the student pages that you can print off for your students. So this is what my students see in their books. Not this specific song, because this is for the starter kit, but when we have a song for the kids to learn, at the 4 to 5 and 5 to 6 age group, they're learning songs by rote. But they want to feel like the big kids. So we give them a book that looks like it has music on it. But we use this keyboard to help them, prepare them to be able to play them at the piano. So we'll actually play the song on the paper keyboard. We'll demonstrate it for them. We'll have them try playing and singing along. And then when they've demonstrated proficiency here on the paper keyboard, they can go to the piano, where you will demonstrate how to do it on the piano and then let them play back for you what they have retained from that lesson. All of the students' pages or the songs are going to have a teacher score. We found this is helpful for teachers and parents that may happen to read music. If parents can read music, then they have their kid at home. If they can't read music, then what we have in the actual curriculum is a QR code over here that links to practice videos. So parents are still able to be supportive and help their kids through the song during the week. Here is an actual page of the Explorer page. You can see it's bigger, so it's going to be a little bit easier for those little hands and their manual dexterity development. All of the pictures and images that we include in our books are black and white and colorable, just in case you have kids that love to color and decorate. They can do that. So some of your kids, it may be enough to just draw in the pattern as it is completed, and some kids will want to color it, and that's totally fine. For each of the students, we have a lesson assignment page, and this is included. This tells the Pyramid Explorers what they can be working on. They can play their song, and it tells them the page. They've got an Explorer page at home. So something else. This is also, I mean, does this look like, not music, but it is, because we're asking them to choose pictures that match. We're doing high on this one. If they see a picture that they think makes a high sound, they're going to color that. So they're using memory, recall. They're trying to pitch things in their head that, and there's no wrong, right answers here, because it's all the way they perceive things. So this is something that they can work on at home. And then there's always a level up or something if the kids just want to have a little bit extra fun. There's a suggestion for things that they can do on their song there. And then we've given them a little graphic, and it changes every single unit, something that they can color to track their progress at home. So each day that they play their song, they can color one of the pictures, or if they choose to do their Explorer page as one of their practice days, they can color the picture. But it's just a great way to get in the habit of being at the piano, spending time making music, and having it be a pleasurable experience so that when they get to be 8 years old and they do need to be on the piano more to make progress, it won't be such a big deal.
Wonderful, Mindy. I'm like, well, I don't have that much to say, especially because our starter kits are very similar in the way that we organized things, but of course the content is different. So as Mindy said, yes, I'm using my iPad, and the multi-level starter kit backwards looks like this. One of the things that we find for teachers that are starting to use the multi-level piano pyramid curriculum is that they want to know how to place the students. Is there a placement for us coming from a different method book, a private method book, to this group method book? And Mindy and I both say, have them sight read. That is the best way. And we have given you a list here for beginner all the way to early intermediate. If they can sight read at this level, then they're ready for that same level. Don't put them a level above, because you need them to be successful, move through it quickly, and then go to the next one. But if you put them up too high and then you're going to have to come down, that's never good. So we give you our levels there. So this is what our start of the unit looks like. A unit is 4 weeks. The first week we learn a new song. The second week we learn another new song. We don't necessarily review the first song. The third week we call it Teacher's Choice, where we do review songs. And then the fourth week is assessment. So right here, oh, well, this doesn't work now. For the unit, for the first week, our first song is 27, and we give you the objectives for each level. And I know it looks like a lot, but remember, if you by any chance have a class with 5 different levels in it, you yourself need to know what you're expecting from each level, okay? Also, the parents want to know what are these kids doing if they're all different levels. And you want to be able to talk intelligently about that to a parent and say, this is what we're going to do. This is what we want them to understand. This is what we want them to experience and connect with the world. And so we've given you those conversations there so that you can be focused, not just playing a song, but focused on what you want each level to work on. This is what the lesson plan looks like. And I know it looks like a lot, but if you read through it, you'll see that we're telling you exactly what to say, so you don't have to make it up. Or if we do want you to make it up, it's something easy that as a music teacher, you already know what to say and what to do. We've included the technique, the scales that they're working on. 5-finger scales, 1-octave scales, and 2-octave scales. Yes, Mindy?
I was just going to say, why do we use scales with pictures instead of notes, Dorla?
Oh, because it takes too much time to read the notes. Let's just start right there.
Right.
And I am not interested in them reading the notes for a scale. My goal for them playing scales is to learn the technique, have a good hand position, do the fingering correctly, and the tonality. When they are in past Pianist 4, then I show them, okay, here's the scale on the staff, and they're like, oh, okay, and they just play it. Okay, because they've already done a lot of note reading. So thank you for that question. Anna Marie, hello, Anna Marie. Anna Marie has a question or a comment. I just want to clarify. The 8 to 14 is multi-level, but the younger options are not combined, correct? That is correct. So the Piano Explorers, Pyramid Explorers is 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, because they have specific skills to work on for their age group. That's why. Once they reach 8, they're in the multi-level class. They're mature enough, we hope, they're mature enough to find music on their own, to learn how to focus and, do other things now in a group setting. But the younger ones, they're in a group setting, but with their peers that are of the same age group because of the specific skills that they need for that age group. Good question, Anna Marie. Thank you. Okay, back to the multi-level. In the teacher guide, we always give you the theory pages that the students are going to work on. Remember, you're going to have 5 different levels of theory that you're working on. And
that you may or may not have in one class.
Right.
So we're assuming that if you do, then you are able to see it all in it. But if you don't, then you just pick the information you need.
Right. And a lot of times we have classes that only have prep pianist, especially if you're getting started, and that's okay. It's no big deal. But you'll notice that in about 6 months, they're going to start leveling up a little bit differently. And so you'll have the materials that you need already in order to have them level up.
Yeah.
Then when you get to teacher scores and ensembles, you have all of the parts that every level needs. You just choose the one that you need. But we've given you the teacher score so you can see all of the parts there. And then when you work on that week that we call Teacher's Choice, which is the 3rd week, some teachers know exactly what they want to do. They want to work on solo pieces, or they want to prepare for a recital or whatever. Other teachers are like, well, what would I do that week? Well, we've given you cards, and they're in the starter kit for independent practice. So we want the students to learn how to practice on their own. So this is the week that they'll work with headphones on, and they have a card that tells them what to do. Simple. Then the 4th week, they have already reviewed and prepared for the assessment. And we give you the, here are the cards. So the cards are ready. You just have to print them and cut them out. And then for the assessment, we give you a proficiency scale. So you can see for a different score what we expect for them to do. And that is it.
Is there a page after that that lets them write down student names and what their scores are? Or?
Right. Yeah, that is in there also, the assessment record. Yeah. So everything you need that we would normally use in our regular classes is in the starter kit, so that you can spread this out for 6 weeks, especially if you have like 3 different or 4 different levels. You could extend it a little bit more. If you have maybe just 1 level, then those classes are much easier to get through the 4-week lesson. So the starter kit also could be something great for you to use in the summer if you have not figured out how to get your groups started. If you've already started a group with our multi-level curriculum, then you can use one of our camps if you want to use in the summer. Did you have another question?
Yeah, I was just going to say on that last point, the curriculum that Dorla has written for multi-level, well, actually all of our curriculum is just a 32-week curriculum. And I know there are a lot of teachers out there that like to teach for 36 weeks. So if you already are a piano pyramid teacher, we wanted to create the starter kits to be seamless in your integration. And you can literally take that starter kit month and you could stick it anywhere in your school year and extend your school teaching by 36 weeks and be able to not have to come up with a month's worth of content on your own if you're not interested in doing that. So I did have a question though, Dorla. So you had just mentioned earlier that you could extend the starter kit to teach over 6 weeks. How would you do that?
Yes, so I would do that by giving more time for ensemble practice. So let's say you did week 1, week 2. Now you're going to have week 3, which is a review, and you're going to really be able to see what they've been able to accomplish. And you will be able to decide if you need to extend it or not,
Yeah.
depending on how that works.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. And we do have several free resources, free on multi-level that you could download if you wanted to extend this into weeks. You could do another song. But the primary reason we've revamped the starter kits to go over a full month is we feel like you really need to give this way of teaching the old college try for at least 4 weeks, if not more. And you'll really, after a whole cycle of 4 lessons, you'll be able to see really quickly how this is going to mesh with your teaching style, how you're going to be able to integrate it into your studio. You're going to have real feedback from your students that are going to be like, oh, okay, this is cool. I really like this, or, you know, whatever. So you can't just do one lesson and say you tried it. You kind of need to go through the whole entire cycle to what is important.
You know, also for those studio owners that have other teachers in their studio, some teachers are okay. I know of some teachers that are okay with you just giving them, here, this is what you're going to do in the group lesson. But there's others that are not. And it would be really cool if you would work together, since you, as a member of Piano Pyramid, have access to the videos and the samples and have talked to us about it and heard us say it over and over and over again. So that's it takes a mindset change to be able to teach this way, because you don't want to do it as private lessons, mini private lessons in an hour. That's not going to work. And I mean, it will work maybe for a few weeks, but it takes away the beauty of making music together and of being in a group. If you're going to be in a group, let's do stuff together. So you know, I think that's the biggest thing. Come with it with an open mindset and learn how it should be done. And you can always put your spin on it, always. We always leave space for that. But there are certain things that need to be done a certain way, a certain routine. So the students also feel the flow, and then it just becomes natural. So that's why we always insist do 4 weeks or more to try that out. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think we've talked a lot today.
We have. But we hope it was helpful. We hope that it was helpful for you to see what's under the hood, and that what we've tried to create has been with you in mind. We want you to succeed. We want you to be able to try this out without having to invest in the curriculum, without knowing if it's going to work.
Yes, and that's why we've made the starter kits exactly the same as our curriculum. So you have everything you need there to start it and get a feel for it. And and then decide if you want to make that investment. And we hope you do, because of course we think our multi-level materials and our preschool age appropriate materials, and the preschool, you know, it's one of the few methods out there that are for preschool age that include piano. Of course, ours isn't the only one, but it's one of the few. So, you know, if you're trying different ones out and trying to decide, a starter kit would be amazing for you to try.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. That's how we always end. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, we just want to let you know, we are both available to answer questions.
Mhm.
So leave a comment or respond to an email. We are happy to help you.
Always. Always. And we try to do it right away. All righty. Thank you for watching, those of you that are here. Oh, Anna Marie has another question.
Okay, go for it.
Do you want, do you, oh, you can add them here, Anna Marie. That's fine. Because those that are watching can, or that would watch now or later, it will be helpful. So go ahead. I was just going to say thank you to those who were on the call with us today, because that's always exciting. So, okay, so if I have a 4-year-old, they would go through 4 levels and then be prepared for multi-level. But if they are 7 to 8, let's see, can you see what else it says? Mine is not.
I can't see that. Oh, I can see it there. Okay.
But if they are 7 to 8,
they would just do the Pyramid Pianists Primer D, and then they would be ready for multi-level.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when they're 7, they can do different things. Our topics are the same, but we approach them differently depend on the age. But at the end of the 7 to 8-year-old group, book,
Right.
we are preparing them to read notes and to be in a multi-level class, definitely. Yes.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. So teach them by age until they're 8.
Mhm.
And it doesn't matter when they start. They don't have to start when they're 4 years old to be able to stay in the flow. They can come at any point, really any
Yes.
point, but it's just based on their cognitive development, like you said.
Yes, totally. Very important that you don't want to, have to put them in the Primer A book where they're just using one finger. No, because the 7-year-old can do much more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Was that another? Okay, Anna Marie, I think you were in that first webinar that we did with the starter kit. I think you were. I don't remember. I'll have to look and see. And so our starter kit has changed.
Yeah.
So if you were there in that class, any of you that were there in that webinar about the multi-level piano,
Mm-hmm. We'll be
contacting you. Yes. Okay. Oh, she said yes. Okay. Then we have a little surprise for you.
Yeah.
Was there another? Okay. Is that the same as what's in the store, or should we also get one if we're interested? If you were in that webinar, you don't need to buy anything. We're gonna send it to you.
That's perfect. So if you were in the multi-level webinar, you don't need, just hang tight. Don't buy that one. If you were in the preschool webinar that we had last month for the 4 to 5-year-olds, we gave you the first lesson of the 4. So if you wanted to use the starter kit with your 4-year-olds, you would need to purchase the one with the blue cover in the store.
Right. Right. Only the multi-level one is the one that we have added.
Yeah.
Because we gave you one lesson, and so we've added 3 more to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but don't go buy it. We're going to share it with you. Yeah. Good. I'm glad you like that. Okay. I think those are all the questions. Let me check. You're very welcome, Anna Marie.
Mm-hmm.
She says, thank you for entertaining all my questions. We love questions because it's helped so many others when teachers ask the questions, especially on Here Live. All righty. Thank you for watching and for listening and answering questions. Asking questions. And we're always available, as Mindy said, if you want to email us or contact us any way that we have shared with you. And we hope you have a great rest of the week. Bye-bye.
Next time.